Good evening, everyone. This evening, we do have a public hearing scheduled for tonight at 6:20. This is on ordinance number 12-2025, property valuation tax rate. At this time, I'll recognize our finance director, Susan Helton, who will walk us through that, and then we'll open the floor for any public comment on the hearing on this particular ordinance. Susan, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members, members of the public. We are here for a public hearing and to hear comments from the public regarding the tax rate. There was a notice that went out in the newspaper that explained that the compensating rate is 0.088 per $100 of assessed value. The compensating rate is the rate that would produce the same amount of revenue from real property as the previous year if applied to current assessments excluding new property. And KRS requires that we calculate the compensating rate and then allows us to assess a rate that would give us an additional 4% of revenue. The 4% rate would be 0.091. That was the rate that was in the ordinance last time. That was the rate that was published in the paper, and that was the proposed rate. But I think the rate that the council has decided to include in the reading this evening is 0.089. That will increase revenue to the city by about $50,000. So with that, if anybody has any questions or comments.
That's the same rate that we had last year.
Thank you, Jerry. Yes, I failed to say that.
We
Yes.
didn't. That's the same rate last year, no increase.
That's correct.
Okay, at this time, since this is a public hearing, we'll open the floor to any members of the public who would like to comment on ordinance number 12-2025, property valuation tax.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Sean, go right ahead.
There was no one signed up for speaking during that.
Okay. We will go ahead and leave that open for a few minutes, though, in case someone comes in, because we did have the hearing scheduled for 6:20. We want to make sure anybody with comments has the opportunity. I'll call on that in just a few more minutes. You sure can. Come right on up, and the comments would be related to ordinance number 12-2025, property valuation tax rate. Sir, you have the floor, and if I could get you to state your name and your city of residence for the record, please.
Name is Randy Dixon, city of residence, Berea, Kentucky. Got to listen into your work group session, very informative. I would suggest people who haven't been to those come, because you get to hear your thoughts that go into these meetings. Looks like you're going to keep that adjusted rate. I heard some good discussion on that, and I also heard some very good discussion on raising that rate. It also sounded like the rates were being picked out of not necessarily with a goal in mind, but just a number. 4% was thrown out as something we can do. We should do it. Maybe 4% is too high. Why not go back and look at the real numbers that you're looking for and come to some kind of middle ground instead of just saying, let's keep it lower. I pay taxes. I don't like it. I don't know anybody that likes it. But I do see the value of my taxes. And for the most part, it's good. A couple of differences. But I think I understood also that during your second reading, you can go back later and amend that rate if you need to. It sounded like there was a lot of discussion that haven't happened among the members themselves. I would really like to see that happen and come to increasing our reserves a little bit rather than just 50,000. It's a good number, but I think a few weeks ago, I don't know where you get the money for when budgets have to be increased, but I think we had a police car that needed to be fixed for a bit of money. It was 5 figures. it's got to come from somewhere. And quite honestly, I like our police to be very well equipped. Anyway, thank you for your time. It's been interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. And we will go ahead and keep this open. This is, again, a public hearing that's on the property valuation tax rate, which is ordinance number 12-2025. This is open to any members of the public who would like to speak on this topic. All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and, without objection, we'll close the public hearing, and we will reconvene in our regularly scheduled city council meeting beginning at 6:30 PM. So, Tommy, you can